Gene, today we have a mixture of Reddits. You're good. Reddits that span the entirety of the Reddit site. Yes. Everything from TikTok thoughts to TikTok thoughts. Huh?
You said the same thing. Hold on, I'm gonna request some Reddits to see. That's why
really?
I'm looking at my phone.
Is it gonna be Suddenly Gay again?
Yes.
Let's review Suddenly Gay. Some homeless MF just offered me a pair of white sunglasses if I ate his peach.
Look at his profile picture. He took the bait.
He looks very happy about it too.
He's like, ah.
His teeth are shining.
He brushed it.
So I was in the bus with his granny by my side when we spotted two girls kissing by the bus stop. The granny turned to me and said, "These girls are so pretty. At their age, I was pretty ugly. Well, maybe that's why I had to marry a man." Almost died.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is just gay?
I think so.
Wait, you have to be pretty to get a girl?
Girls have the highest standards, right?
If you're pretty desperate, then you go for a man, for sure. Anyone can get a man.
That was
like
the saddest statement.
Remembering the therapy session in which the Grindr notification sound emitted from my therapist's phone, outing him. My face of recognition, in turn, outed me. Oh wow, now you and your therapy can just...
Wait, isn't Grindr for just, is it like Tinder?
It's for gay guys.
Oh!
You didn't know that?
One of these days on my phone, I'm gonna have a Grindr notification and I'm gonna look at you and see if you can recognize it, and then I'm gonna out you.
I have no idea what it sounds like. Okay. That's a weird choice. Oh, this is a game my dad likes to play all the time. Play in a crowded room who checks their phone. Foolproof method of finding out who's gay. It's really distinct too.
The strums of homosexuality calling for the... Oh my god, can I show you? Because I saw that's his shorts, right?
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh.
Ah, de veras, puedo usar este.
Oh my god, do they not have any sense of awareness?
Apparently it's real.
Damn, that's awkward. So Ginny wants to spoil one of our unexpected posts of this month.
So good. It's so good. I am so proud to say that my college is so LGBT friendly that in the survey Rest Life put out, they forgot to include straight people. What is your sexual orientation? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, pansexual, asexual, prefer not to say, or other. This is a fucking power move.
It's the other, right? You press other and then you say straight. What is straight? Would it just be straight? Or would it be like straight sexual?
Heterosexual.
Yeah, heterosexual.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Tanto.
Oh my god. Straight sexual.
Straight sexual.
My child. Have you ever thought that someone has met to you?
No, because I doubt it. I already know what he's gonna say.
Rubbed out a quick one just for you, brother.
That's like the most obvious response to no, because I doubt it. So somebody on the internet's gonna be like, I will do that for you.
I don't get it. Did Shinato see that and was like...
Yeah.
It's like, don't you worry, Jason.
I mean, I assume if you're a girl, like, somebody's mad to you. For sure. Guys are mad to anything, man. They'll see a rock, and then next night, they'll be like, oh, that rock.
¿Dónde están los slimes?
Come on, rock's off. They won't accept him. They started attacking. Finally leaving him alone. Bro, the green are helping him. Are they gonna have sex with him? They started playing Attack on Orange. Attacked him. He went in early. Bro cut him in half.
Oops, el botón
What's
equivocado.
happening? Cops came.
What is this?
Arrested. How is this gonna be gay?
Fleeing.
Safe. Kissing?
Who just looked at the gummy bears they were eating and was like, I see a story.
It's a decent plot. If you get arrested, so you know, sticking it in the butt. Sticking it in the butt.
With righteous
Where's that from?
angels.
Ginny, is there a different Reddit you would like to check out?
1 second before.
Okay. Oh. He's fine. Oh. He's fine. Oh. Why is it like funnier like when they stop the video 1 second before?
Because you know what's gonna happen. And
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it's because they put the table so close to the water.
Who does that?
It's so oddly close.
Right?
Like, how can you tell like where the water begins? I don't even blame her. Ooh, but they even allow you to see the rest. Experience. I guess it's not that funny. How is she considered a comedian?
Is nominated.
¿Qué tal está el volumen?
This is funnier than anything Amy Schumer's ever put out there. Him audibly laughing like that just proves how bad it was. Cause you're like, that doesn't sound appropriate for that level of humor at all.
Ever seen one of these things, dude? Whatever liquid this is, boils with the palm of your hand.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
So what happens if you...
I know that's Photoshop. Oh my god.
No, this Reddit gives me like anxiety, man.
No, because it's 1 second before, so you're
holy
like,
shit.
no.
I understand the point of this Reddit now. Getting anxious, just waiting for shit to happen.
How to stop a cat first try.
Bellamondo.
Lo
Alright,
mata.
let's not from the same anime. Get out of here.
I mean, he took care of it, right?
Yeah. Yep. Oh! That was unexpected. What an ending. Holy shit.
Why though? At least 2 kitties have been.
Every time someone like lets a bird go free, like it never ends well. Ginny, these are some exceptional picks. I've never had a better laugh in a long time.
Thank you.
What else do you got here?
That's third.
Is there anything new?
Asshole design.
Yeah, you want to do asshole design? I know it's harped on, but this is my bill for talking to a cardiologist for literally 5 minutes. 3 of which were spent talking about my job. How does the US healthcare system get away with this? I can't even begin to imagine more than 5 minutes. Total charges, member discount, your plans paid, your responsibility to providers.
Well,
What is
thank
this
God for
member
the member
discount?
discount.
Dude, that's crazy. Imagine getting paid $927 for 5 minutes of your time. I all of a sudden have an extreme passion for hearts.
Yeah?
Yes.
You should try brains. You can make more money.
Oh, even gastroenterologists, you know, the ones that inspect buttholes. I have a passion for buttholes now.
Why don't you just have a passion for like gynecology? You've always had a passion for vaginas.
I have a
So
passion for vaginas, huh?
no, you've always
Maybe I
had
shouldn't
one.
be-
So why not just do gynecology if you're gonna be a
No,
doctor?
vaginas are gross.
Anti-rough sleeper poles make for no walk sidewalk.
Is this to stop like homeless people from sleeping?
Oh.
Well, at that point, wouldn't you rather just like walk over people than try and walk through this shit? Plus the money you spend like putting these up. How did they like choose the layout of this? Because it just seems so random.
Got my first speeding ticket. Oh no.
This is an advertisement for legal services?
Oh, it's, you know, whenever something requires a lawyer like happens, like all the law firms start emailing you.
Oh.
Because this is what happened when I was trademarking Crusade. Every step of the trademark process, my email was filled by like 10 different law firms trying to be like, we'll do this copyright patent for you. And it's like, no, you can fuck off. I can read directions online.
But you could do so much more with a lawyer.
Yeah. Putting the Amazon's Choice logo directly into the product's image, even though it isn't actually Amazon's Choice. What?
That is absolutely scummy, but
What a
smart.
scam. Yeah.
Yeah.
But technically, like, if it is Amazon's Choice, it should show up here. Amazon is basically like YouTube now. Anybody can just go on and start selling like random shit, pretending to be something they're not.
Oh yeah.
And just try and play the algorithm.
Considering I'm broke, this terrified me. Domino account. Credit alert, your account has been credited with 300 something. Oh, that's right. Grab 300 something off your favorite pizza. Use code, how's that? 300.
Oh, yo, I would be terrified if someone said credit alert. I'm like, fuck.
They did this on purpose to get your attention, right?
It did the job.
It did the job. But that's not right. Gee, I really love this Reddit. I love seeing the injustice in this world and how unfair people are.
Okay, how about our... We did Bikini Bottom.
Okay, we can do Bikini Bottom 3.
Sorry, I don't know what the hell that was.
When the NSFW you unblurred turns out to be gore.
Oh my god.
Right? Because you're so excited. You're like, oh my god.
Isn't that
It
the
must be tits.
50-50 Reddit, basically? It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, something good, and it turns out to be like, oh my god.
Yeah, because typically when it's like NSFW, you expect like ass. boobs, nudity, hot woman. And then it was just like people like dead. It's just,
Decapitation.
What's the jack off to this?
Never had McDonald's pancakes, but today this blueberry took the spot.
Yeah, I remember this
No,
episode.
Mr. Krabs! Wait, what happened?
There's like a patty he didn't want to go to waste. He's like, nah, this is fine. Immediately into the emergency room.
Dead.
Me after posting controversial comments I don't even agree with, so I can edit my negative 47 comment to gay people deserve breasts. That's pure
That's
evil.
Giga villain brain.
This guy just wants to watch the world.
Doctors eating junk food at home after spending all day telling patients to eat healthy and exercise more.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Is there such thing as like a fat doctor?
Yes.
And then when he gets like an obese patient, is he supposed to be like, yeah, you should exercise and eat healthy? Like I
The guy's like,
yeah, I get what you mean by eat healthy. I know what that means. Orders McDonald's.
SpongeBob episode 1. SpongeBob gets a job at the Krusty Krab. Yay! SpongeBob episode 44. SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs believe they murdered someone and have to try and hide the body from the police. They killed the health inspector?
Oh, that one is actually just a good episode.
What? Henry!
Dude, that was like one of the best episodes.
They murdered!
It's so funny.
But they murdered!
But thinking back on it, yeah, that was pretty dark, huh? They didn't actually murder him, but then like they kind of did murder him later.
Second wind at 1 a.m. My mom hearing loud noises and scraping at 1 a.m. during summer break. 11-year-old me attempting to rearrange my entire room.
I feel like you can have that. Like when it's really late and everyone's asleep, you just have this urge to do something.
I mean, my mom would always put me to bed really early, but I would always
up.
be like, yeah, I would be getting up doing shit in my room, and then if I heard something, I'd run back into my bed, pretend like I was sleeping.
But she could literally hear you running to your
Nah.
bed.
Okay, how about our I'm finna go to hell?
Okay. What is that? Oh wow, that is
If it's funny, you'll probably go to hell.
okay. I'm wheezing. Even Twitch hates you guys. I hate women. This title may conflict with Twitch's moderation policy. I hate men. You're good.
That's fine. That's completely okay.
Uh,
We understand why you
kill him
hate
on.
men.
I'll test it out.
No, G, they're literally gonna ban you.
I'll get banned, but it's
Dude,
for
they're gonna ban
science. Dark humor is like water. Some people get it, some don't. Oh my god. Henry, we going to hell. We're actually gonna go to hell.
We're getting fucking canceled.
Yeah, we're going to hell. Goodbye.
I've said nothing. I didn't laugh. Completely ambivalent to this. Not funny.
Oh, that lady is...
Whoa, whoa.
I'm not laughing at the overweight lady's.
No, I'm laughing at
fall.
how he flew.
I'm laughing at this guy.
Yeah, he-
Is that real?
like, it has to be photoshopped.
I could almost believe it with like that kind of weight.
But...
Chinese girl kills herself to save herself from getting raped by invading soldiers. Japanese soldiers.
Okay. No.
Oh. It took like way too long for me to get. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm proud of myself, but ashamed of myself. Me, I proved them wrong. Haters, you have a genetic disorder. You shouldn't have a baby.
Nope. Girl, isn't my baby so cute? The baby.
Okay, that's gotta be a filter. This is exactly why you need that person that isn't afraid to say your baby's ugly. Just surface level thought, maybe you shouldn't. Baby's gonna have a tough life.
I took a pic of my son getting an award with his teacher.
Debería dejar de hacer estos
So
cuentos
proud of my
random.
son, man.
Dad, I'm pretty sure the lens is in
Quedan
your face.
bastante
Shut up, kid!
experiencia.
It's a wide angle, okay? You're getting in the shot. Just
Yeah, you're in there.
Just
son,
keep smiling,
for
okay?
sure.
Just keep smiling.
Está demasiado
God damn,
alto.
is that a teacher?
Dude, that dad was like, I should have gone to more parent-teacher conferences
Yeah.
rather than sending my wife.
Archie, would you like to check out?
No.
Okay.
This is my husband.
All right.
I used to ask him to shave his beard, although I think he always wanted one.
Makes
I
sense.
couldn't stand the feel of it on my neck.
Science.
Instant flashbacks of my stepfather raping me.
Quit.
Ayudando a todo el mundo.
Really, the only reaction you could have, just like, what?
That was a great reaction to just like deadpan face. What?
Okay, honestly, I was a little confused by this Reddit, but now I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It's a lot better than I thought.
resonates with you, right? Because you many times say, I'm gonna
It,
go to hell.
unfortunately, is my kind of humor. Very dark.
You did laugh at the African kid.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
slime.
no, not
You
that
just
one. Not
said
that
yeah.
one. That's
You
the
just
only one I
said
didn't laugh at.
yeah.
No, nope. But you know what else is my kind of content? Our TikTok thoughts. 411, 3rd grade. 5-3, 5th grade. 5-5, 7th grade.
Bitch, every girl ever did not have triple D's in 4th grade.
Yeah. It's like 3rd grade. I like how they have to specify that she's 20 years old. 'Cause she kind of does look like she'd send you to jail.
Henry, what am I looking at?
She's probably trying to show off like the gains that she's
Yes, I agree.
made in the gym.
I agree.
Mr.
Anyways, that's it for
Summon.
Mixed Reddits. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys.
Se ha acabado el videíto. Creo que no está aquí. Está... No. Pero de todas formas tengo que poner eso. Y... Yeah. Tengo un new slime. Esos slimes son mis favoritos. Tengo que matar más cerditos. Slime contra slime. La batalla de los... Toma eso. Ay, me están matando a mí.
Go toward the light. I'll protect you.
No tengo listones. Ay. Espera. ¿Tengo que amarrarlos? Ah, sí, me dieron cuerdas. Más. Era Cachemol. Yo sé. A las pociones automáticas.
Divine light. Divine light.
Ah, sigo queriendo usar el otro botón. Wipe them out. Voy a hacer una granja de esos cerdos enormes.
She cooked with MSG? Oh my god. MSG is salt on crack. Don't need salt. Salt is so 2005. Hello, niece and nephew. It's Uncle Roger. Today, Uncle Roger gonna react to Chinese cooking video sent to me by a fan. I think this video, they are making scrambled egg with tomato. Uncle Roger, I never seen this video before. Don't know what to expect. Are Chinese people better at cooking than BBC food? Let's see. Let's see.
Va a ser importante después de todo.
What? Too many things happening. Too many things happening. This is not... I thought this was supposed to be cooking video. Teach you how to make scrambled egg and tomato, but why all this Kung Fu Dragon Ball bullshit? What is this? So many things going on. Uncle Roger need to take a break and start from the beginning. I think this is just like not actual cooking recipe tutorial. This is just social media funny video. So let's start from beginning. Change my mindset. Okay, good. At least she don't use induction stove. She use actual fire. Sorry, Uncle Roger sweating because now it's summer in UK and people in UK hate air conditioning. Uncle Roger suffering. If you want to sponsor Uncle Roger one aircon, let me know. You will be my favorite niece or nephew. This is how cheap Asian people are. We don't like to pay electric bill. We don't want to pay water bill. So we take electric and water from sky. Growing up, Uncle Roger never pay for electric bill, just steal electric and water from neighbor. Asian people be very cheap. Sometimes Uncle Roger don't even want to pay for Wi-Fi. Uncle Roger just go to coffee shop, buy one coffee, $3, stay for 5 hours. The cheapest office anywhere. And what is she wearing on her shirt? It says, they will ignore you until they can't. She used Kung Fu to make omelette. Nobody ignoring you. People scared of you. Nobody ignoring you. Many Asian people, we like wearing shirt with English word. I see that many times in Asia. It's like white people, they like getting tattoo of Chinese word. We all think we very cultured. So that's the water. Okay, water on tomato. Okay. Okay. Just don't spin knife around. That's very dangerous. You spin knife around, you slip, the knife cut your toe. Now you only have 9 toes. How you go about your life only have 9 toes. That is very sad. 9-toe people are the worst people. Where she get chicken from? From ceiling. How you store chicken in ceiling? That is not very nice to chicken. Don't store chicken in ceiling. It's not free-range chicken. If you store any pet in ceiling, that is animal abuse.
Ay, qué tonto.
Wait. How can that chicken lay egg? That is rooster. That is male chicken. How you make male chicken lay egg? Is your Kung Fu that good? You can give chicken a sex change? She make the chicken lay egg and then when it's done, she just throw chicken out. Hiya. That is how Uncle Roger ex-wife Auntie Helen. That is how Auntie Helen treat me. She use Uncle Roger and then when finished using, she throw me out just like chicken. How you... Wait, what? Uncle Roger gotta watch this again. You crack egg, but the 4th egg is piece of shit. How you crack egg open and its shit come out? How? Then she throw the shit to cat. Is that what you feed? You feeding shit to your cat? This woman, she abused the chicken. Then she abused the cat. Hiya. Don't give this woman any pet. They will need therapy. Okay. It's a vinegar and white pepper. Wait. Replay. What's she doing with the egg? How you have all this kung fu skill, but you need washing machine to scramble egg? Of all the things that she can do, she can't whisk her own egg. So sad. Did Uncle Roger see what I just see? She cooked with MSG? Oh my god, this is Uncle Roger's first time seeing cooking video where the chef used MSG. This is best cooking instructional video. Uncle Roger loves MSG. Since my last egg fried rice video, many people asking me, what is MSG? And Uncle Roger want to say MSG is king of flavor. It's better version of salt. MSG
Ya,
is
eso fue
salt
todo el
on
quest.
crack. If you have salt at home, throw it out. Don't need
Mátalos,
salt. Salt
mátalos.
is so 2005. Now all the cultured people use MSG. MSG make everything better. Uncle Roger should have put MSG on my marriage. Then maybe Auntie Helen won't throw me out like chicken. Notice how in this whole video, full of kung fu, full of shit from egg, full of everything, but no colander. Uncle Roger liked this video. Very authentic Asian cooking. It's like Bruce Lee meet Master Chef. Next week video is Uncle Roger going on Zoom date with Auntie Jenny. So subscribe now and turn on notification if you want to know what happened during that date. Also go follow Uncle Roger on Instagram. Bye bye.
Ah, se acabó. Ahora sigue uno educacional.
This video is brought to you by Surfshark. Geothermal energy has the potential to be an always-on power source for countries around the world.
Esta es la clase de cosas que veo.
Energy option because drilling deep enough into the earth to reach sufficient
No siempre, pero
is difficult and costly.
estoy gritando.
And a startup
No
is
estoy
recently
gritando,
unearthed a
¿verdad?
solution that might solve this problem.
Se pausó porque me quité el
A
audífono.
heat ray to melt rocks. Sort of. I know it sounds like a Star Wars remake, but we're not talking about the Death Star here. This is actually a well-established nuclear fusion technology being reapplied to geothermal energy. Could it unlock the true potential of geothermal energy and make it better than solar and wind? Let's see if we can come to a decision on this. And spoiler, it's pretty cool. Or should I say hot? I'm Matt Carroll. Welcome to Undecided.
Dame la lluvia de estrellas hasta.
I'm currently in the process of building a new net zero home, and I'm scoping out getting the geothermal cooling system installed. The idea of tapping into the earth as a stable heat source for a heat pump system is really enticing for homes. But we can also tap deeper into the earth for a consistent super hot heat source to power turbines that generate electricity for our cities and towns. Unlike solar and wind, geothermal energy could provide a more stable supply of clean power while taking up barely any land. On the other hand, current drilling techniques can't affordably reach the hottest spots of the earth to unlock that potential. In fact, penetrating deep into the hard rock is tricky and expensive. Along with exploration, digging wells accounts for about 40% of the total upfront cost of a geothermal plant. That's why scientists are turning to a death ray. Again, not really. I'll get to this killer technology in a minute, but first let's have a brief recap of geothermal energy. This source of power has been on our planet forever.
10% de ser
Actually,
feliz
inside
por 10
The
segundos.
Earth's inner core is about as hot as the sun, which is why it's often nicknamed the sun beneath our feet. Good news is that it will take billions of years for the Earth to cool down. Fueled by residual heat from our planet's creation and the decay of radioactive elements, this underground sun gave rise to the natural hydrothermal reservoirs. Basically, the Earth's nucleus heat pushes water up through the permeable rocks until it hits a wall, also known as impermeable cap rock. Now trapped, the water pressure rises and can sometimes break through. Think of Roman baths relying on hot springs, or perhaps Icelanders toasting bread over geysers. Aside from enabling carbon-free hot baths and outdoor barbecues, we can use subsurface hot steam to drive a turbine and produce electricity. And to do that, you have different plant configurations. Out of all the options, binary cycle power plants are the newest and most sustainable ones. Unlike other designs, binary plants don't use the underground hot water to generate steam directly. To be more specific, after extracting it and further heating it up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit or
Ni le estoy poniendo
200 degrees
atención.
Celsius, they run it through a heat exchanger. Here, the geothermal water transfers its heat to a secondary liquid with a much lower boiling point. This then generates the steam that will spin the turbine. The plant includes a condenser to convert the steam back into a liquid and reuse it. Running this closed-loop binary system, the water won't boil off the geothermal fluids, which, other than water vapor, contain carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and other toxic compounds. You can probably see why this is a greener and preferred alternative to dry and flash steam plants. The overall geothermal potential is huge. According to Ultrarock Energy, harvesting only 0.1% of the planet's heat could satisfy the world's energy hunger for 2 million years. Now, given how cool that is, or hot, why did geothermal energy account for only 0.55% of our global electricity generation as of 2018? Mainly because the accessible part of that is heat scattered across the Earth's crust. In fact, most hydrothermal reservoirs, such as volcanoes, springs, and geysers, are only found along tectonic plates. In addition, the water-filling shallow geothermal pockets isn't hot enough to make energy harvesting cost-effective. Not to mention the technical and economic hurdles of reaching hotter spots using current drilling techniques. Yet, thanks to fusion-inspired drilling technology, the true potential of geothermal power could be closer than ever. This innovation could get us below 10 kilometers or about 6 miles in a much more cost-effective fashion. Down there, geothermal sources have much higher temperatures and are more widespread. While being cost-effective, the potential of solar and wind farms is undermined by their intermittency. Instead, a 24/7 green energy source like geothermal could give us an extra powerful weapon against global warming. And speaking of weapons, let's dig in deeper into how death rays, again, not a death ray, could push geothermal energy to a new level. Before I get to that, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. I always recommend using a VPN when using public Wi-Fi, but VPNs can be extra powerful even when you're at home. A lot of online services use some pretty sophisticated commercial tracking and machine learning to apply very targeted advertising. A VPN can protect you from some. Now, Surfshark's Clean Web does a great job blocking ads, trackers, and malicious websites, making it
No
safer
puedes
to use the
decir
internet
que
even at
mate a
home.
todos
And you can
y
even make
luego
it look like
ya.
your IP address is coming from a completely different country. This can come in handy if you want to stream a video that's only available from a specific location. One of the best parts of Surfshark is that it's easy to set up on all of your devices, whether that's iPhone or Android, Mac or PC. Surfshark is the only VPN to offer one account with an unlimited number of devices. Use my code to get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. And Surfshark is also giving away their antivirus for free during this month in June. Now, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out for yourself. Link in the description below, and thanks to Surfshark and to all of you for supporting the channel. Now back to the fusion tech that could push geothermal energy to a new level. It all began with the work of Paul Waskow, a senior research engineer at MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. In 2012, he demonstrated the application of a gyrotron to vaporize rock instead of grinding it. This high-powered vacuum tube generates a beam of millimeter-long radio frequency waves, which have been used to heat up plasma and control its temperature in fusion reactors for the last 50 years. Hijacking this fusion tech, Waskow envisioned drilling ultra-deep geothermal boreholes. So how does it actually work? You would have a metallic tube embedding the gyrotron, blasting high-frequency electromagnetic waves to diffuse the underground rock. The system injects a gas for cleaning up the post-vaporization mess. To be more specific, the gas cools down the hot vapors, which condense into nanoparticles. These are then flushed out of the well by the high-pressure stream, but you wouldn't use this sophisticated drilling for the entire process. I reached out to Quase's CEO, Carlos Araque, for the on-the-ground, or perhaps underground, arm of this geothermal revolution, who filled me in on that.
So in geology, you have the sedimentary rock, and then below it you have the base.
Oops.
Sedimentary rock, it's unconsolidated. It's easy to drill through, and it's what mechanical drilling systems are very good at doing. So you drill that first portion conventionally. No difference there. But the second portion is very, very hard to do. So that second portion, we use these ideas from millimeters.
Yuppie.
Basically put in the hole, we put a pipe, a metallic pipe. It looks like oil and gas pipe. And inside that pipe, we put the beam and we put the gas, and that's it.
Based on his experimental results, Woskoff figured out that millimetric waves make the drilling process more cost-efficient. First, you wouldn't be limited by temperature and rock hardness. On top of that, there's no need to have downhole mechanical equipment that could get damaged. And thanks to a wavelength about 1,000 times longer than that of a typical infrared laser, the millimetric waves sputtered by the gyrotron go through incoming rock nanoparticles without experiencing significant scattering, which means the beam doesn't lose much energy before reaching the target surface. Also, the hot molten rock takes up way more energy when irradiated by a gyrotron compared to when hit by a standard laser. Overall, gyrotrons are up to 5 times more energy efficient than the best lower wavelength laser that you can get. But what about costs? Paul Woskoff had some thoughts on that too.
I did look at the cost of electricity to vaporize a volume of rock. That's the main consumable in directed energy drilling. And I made estimates that for an 8-inch diameter hole and about 10 kilometers deep, it would cost something like $500,000 of electricity to vaporize an equivalent volume of granite of that size and depth. When you look at those depths, the total cost of a mechanical drill well is somewhere in the order of $30 million.
That's kind of crazy, right? That proves out we're talking about saving tens of millions of dollars. But there's another key economic benefit when using heat rays. When relying on mechanical processes such as rotary technology, you need a high-density fluid, which is called a drilling mud, to counter the surrounding pressure of the well, to prevent it from collapsing in on itself. In contrast, millimetric waves don't require drilling mud, but how would a gyrotron-drilled hole bear thousands of atmospheres worth of pressure without failing? When coming out of the gyrotron, some of the waves will hit the hole walls, which creates a glassy coating. Apart from sealing any wall cracks, the heating process will increase the internal pressure, which balances the outer force. As a result, it will be possible to burrow deeper yet more stable boreholes without adding any drilling mud, which is another aspect that could make the whole process more profitable.
You're making a glass-lined hole, and that glass is very strong, and so in effect we are casing at the same time that we're drilling the hole, which is another big expense savings for making a hole.
When factoring in all those extra costs, Woskoff's brainchild turns out to be way more cost-effective.
So I estimate that the could be maybe 10 times cheaper than a similarly deep mechanical drill wall.
Aside from being costly, drilling mud doesn't work at temperatures like 500 degrees Celsius or 932 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nota casi estás en la cuerda.
Production is most efficient. Paul had some really nice insights on that.
Drilling muds don't function at those temperatures very well. The weight of the column begins to run out, and the deeper you go, because the density of the mud is never close enough to the rock density, so eventually you can't have enough drilling mud column to balance the pressure. However, with directed energy drilling at high temperature, we are always overpressured no matter what depth.
To be more specific, this mud-free drilling system could profitably withstand pressure-related stresses below 10 kilometers, which is where geothermal access becomes universal. According to the US Department of Energy's GeoVision report, leveraging these untapped subterranean heat sources could increase geothermal-based electricity 26-fold by 2050. In addition to a wider availability, when you go below 10 kilometers or about 6-mile mark, you'll find the so-called super hot rock, or SHR. Those geothermal resources have temperatures about 375 degrees Celsius or 707 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, under these conditions, a geothermal plant can tap into supercritical water, which is more energy dense than non-supercritical counterparts. A well plunged into an SHR could yield up to 10 times more energy than a conventional enhanced geothermal system. Now, based on the technological and economic feasibility studies conducted by Ultra Rock Energy on the Newberry volcano site, SHR would reduce geothermal's levelized cost of electricity, or LCOE, by 50%. On top of that, the company estimated the SHR-based geothermal could have a lower LCOE than onshore wind and even solar. Now, clearly, Woskoff's design holds promise for bringing our geothermal power supply to a higher level, or lower one, I guess, which means our energy grid would become much less reliant on fossil fuels. His fusion-inspired drilling tech is not just confined to the lab space. Last February, an MIT spinoff, Quaise, raised $40 million to develop this groundbreaking tech. They graduated from using a 10-kilowatt gyrotron to drill a 10-centimeter deep hole in palm-sized stone to using Oak Ridge Labs' megawatt-sized gyrotron. The company bored 3-foot deep holes into much larger rocks. Quaise is partnering with Ultrarock to create their first pilot project where they're aiming to drill a 3,300-foot deep hole near the Newberry volcano, which was chosen as an ideal testing site. In fact, Ultrarock believes this crater could be one of the largest unused geothermal resources in North America. The presence of a shallow magma body makes the rock down there much hotter than other places, which is why Ultrarock could reach super hot temperatures above 400 degrees Celsius or 750 degrees Fahrenheit, at a quarter of the depth you need to dig down in other places. So it's a good testing ground. Now looking ahead, Quaise is planning to build its first full-scale hybrid drilling rig in 2024. Based on this setup, Quaise would first use a conventional rotary drilling to go down to the basement rock, which is where they would activate their gyrotron-powered rock vaporizing system to reach 20 kilometers or about 12 miles, to reach temperatures as high as 500 degrees Celsius or 932 degrees Fahrenheit. The company touts that they could get down to that depth in 100 days using a 1 megawatt gyrotron. And just to give you a sense of scale, the Kola Super Deep Borehole, the deepest hole ever dug on Earth, went down to 40,230 feet or about 12.2 kilometers and took 20
se enojó el
years to
slime.
complete. Now I can hear you already. Is 100 days even possible? Carlos shed some light on this.
When you're 5 kilometers down, in a 10-day window, you may spend 30 hours drilling. That's the life of the drill bit before it needs replacement. 10 days is 240 hours, so 30 hours, an eighth of the time drilling, and the other 7/8 of the time running the pipe in and out of the hole to replace that drill bit. 10 days is $1 million of rig time. So we don't talk about drilling 100 meters per hour. We talk about drilling a very consistent 5 meter per hour rate. It just goes because there's nothing to replace it. If we can hit drilling cost of $1,000 per meter regardless of depth, your LCOAs are in the 1 to 3 cents per kilowatt hour. So cost parity with wind and solar, but firm and always so.
So in theory, it sounds like Quaise has got some chances to achieve their goal. In practice, we should wait for the real-world tests in the field. And nevertheless, the company has a clear and clever long-term vision. They aim to retrofit existing fossil fuel plants, which will eventually be decommissioned during the low-carbon transition. Making the most out of the ready-to-use infrastructure, they could simply swap a coal or natural gas-generated steam plant with round-the-clock underground hot vapor to spin the turbines.
The steam can come from the ground. So that idea gets a lot of traction with power project developers because they have these power plants that are losing their social license and they're increasingly less in the money. So there's very few alternatives for these power plants to continue to operate. So those are the people that are most interested in what we're trying to propose and trying a pilot with them.
A pilot plant sounds exciting, but looks like it'll still take some time for it to pick up steam.
We're still more than 3-4 years away because we still need to do the demonstration before we even get to it.
Along their geothermal drilling path, Quaise may encounter some other issues. The deeper you dig, the more energy that you lose. As it stands, making up for this power loss means stealing electricity from the grid or running diesel generators. On the other hand, Quaise's CEO claims that the fossil fuels consumed by their drilling system would be less than 1% of the renewable energy generated by the well over its lifetime. But their system needs to account for the gas pressure losses too. That's because of the friction between the gas and the pipe walls. The further down the gas travels, the higher its pressure drop. The bigger the pump you need to circulate it in and out of the well. That's one of the reasons why Quaise's estimated 20 kilometers may be the lowest depth that they can get. Another drawback of ultra-deep digging might be earthquakes. Creating wells could destabilize geological layers, which could trigger seismic activity. This has cooled down some geothermal
¿Poner los tres? Digo los dos.
Power plants were forced to close. Carlos had a different take on this.
When you drill for geothermal today, you're mostly drilling near tectonic boundaries because that's where the heat is closest to the surface. So you're very intentionally drilling near problematic zones with very young geology and very unstable geology. When you have the luxury to go deep without an exponential increase in cost, you move away from those instabilities. I would even argue that maybe 95% of the business case for our drilling is away from tectonic boundaries. We're actually trying to make geothermal available no matter where you are, and most of the world is actually not on a tectonic boundary.
Earthquakes aside, Quaise will need to keep an eye on the budget. As reported by the International Renewable Energy Agency, in 2019, setting up a geothermal plant would cost nearly $4,000 per kilowatt, which is roughly 4 times more than what you need to spend for installing a solar plant. However, as mentioned by Carlos and Paul earlier, gyrotron-powered drilling could save money compared to a mechanical process. I don't know if Quase's geothermal approach is the panacea for our energy transition, but it should definitely be thrown into the mix. Relying on multiple clean energy sources is a sustainable way forward. Now, Carlos's view seems to align with mine on this.
When I think of renewables, they're trying to do more with much more, so I don't think that's sustainable. And I think everybody forgets that, right? I'm not saying we should do renewables, I think we should, but we should not forget that things like these and things like fusion, they need work, because they are the ones that can actually get us to where we need to be as a species.
I'm really excited by the potential of this. It's also really cool to see a technology from fusion research getting reapplied in such a unique way. The development of fusion-inspired drilling would let us tap into plenty of super hot fluids by overcoming geographical and geological limitations. It could also unleash a perpetual spring of geothermal power for a zero-carbon energy-independent world. However, although heat rays are based on solid tech, there are still economic barriers and testing to go through before reaching industrial scale. So are you still undecided? Do you think this could make geothermal energy the future of our energy grid? Jump in the comments and let me know. If you like this video, be sure to check out one of the ones over here. And thanks to all my patrons for your continued support, and thanks to all of you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Ya se me acabaron los videos.
Angels!
¿Cómo se lo del cristal?
We're filming a video about time crystals.
Okay.
This was like a big discovery in 2021. 2012, we came up with a theory for a big discovery in 2021. 2012, we came up with a theory for this new phase of matter. Fast forward to 2021, physicists used one of Google's quantum computers to make a time crystal.
What does that sentence?
I was looking back through some of the big discoveries in physics that happened last year. I don't know how I missed this one. It's crazy. Have you ever heard of time crystals?
It sounds like something in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It does. Time crystals are talked about in the Doctor Who series, so you're really not far off.
Oh.
Do you know what a crystal is?
I don't know what defines a crystal.
Give me a crystal.
Rubies.
Ruby. Okay, so I'm looking up the atomic structure of rubies. Yeah, it's repeating. It looks like tiles. The pattern is repeating, but in 3 dimensions. This is what diamond looks like. You're looking down at atoms. Carbon, carbon, carbon. This is what the pattern of table salt looks like. Chlorine, sodium, chlorine, sodium. But the physics definition of something crystalline
Conseguí la
has to do with whether the structure is repeating. Whether it has a pattern. So you're repeating this way, you're repeating that way, and you're repeating this way. So it's repeating in all dimensions. How many dimensions are there?
3.
Yeah, 3 spatial dimensions. But there's a 4th dimension.
Time?
Time. But imagine you're also repeating in your time dimension.
I don't know what that means.
I know, right? No one else did either until 2012. This was like a random thought experiment of this guy named Frank Wilczek. Frank Wilczek is a professor at MIT. I met him a couple times while I was there, a year after I graduated. So that's how recent this theory was. Like, not the discovery, but the theory was in 2012. It was the year after I graduated. And he was preparing for a class on symmetries in physics. And he was like, so what if there were symmetries not in just spatial dimensions, but in time as well? And what he thought that might look like is that you could conceive of a material that has some kind of state and it repeats back and forth. So just like with the crystalline structure, you know how it's chlorine and sodium and chlorine, so you're repeating back and forth. But instead, you have a material that's in one state and then a different state, and then back to the first state. So like you can imagine an object like that, right? Like a metronome. Think of state as like the left orientation in your metronome or the right orientation. Can you think of anything else?
Like a seesaw.
Yeah, like a seesaw.
Water evaporating.
Yeah, like the water cycle. The thing about most of those, something powers that. With the metronome, typically there's like a spring. So there's some energy going in and it's using that energy. So what Frank Wilczek was really imagining like a microscopic scale material that has 2 different states, left to right to left to right, I don't know, up to down or something.
Is there any material example that is in 2 states like that? As big as water, as complex as a clock.
Something really small on the atomic scale. Yeah, there's some things. I mean, what they ended up using were atoms that have spin. I didn't want to get into this yet, but now I want to. Do you know what spin even is? Like, I started talking about this.
No.
Yeah, me neither. One of those inherent properties that's so fundamental to a particle, and we can see what it does. It's like, even with mass, it's hard to explain what mass really fundamentally is. We can explain what it does. It pulls other masses toward it. It affects the curvature of space-time. What is mass? And the same is true of spin. A lot of particles have properties called spin. Spin is a really special property because it can change and it can flip from up to down. It can actually point in a lot of different directions, but typically when you measure it on the up and down axis, and it will just choose one or the other when you do that. That's a quantum thing. We're not gonna get into it, but for simplicity, let's imagine that our particle can only be spin up and spin down. Spin, it looks like this magnetic moment. It looks like this little magnetic field coming from an electric charge going around in a circle. You'd think like maybe it actually is, the charged particle spinning, but neutrons, what's the charge of a neutron? It's 0. Don't have any charge, and they have spin. So it's not necessarily, it's not as simple as a charge spinning or a charge going around in a circle. It's this intrinsic property that's really hard to describe. Okay, cool. So spin, that is something on an atomic scale that can flip back and forth. So that answers your question in a very roundabout way, but I'm glad that we did that because
I'm glad too. Because I would hate to go further without
knowing what spin is. Yeah. Okay, so it's 2012. Frank Wilczek's idea was imagine that there's this material where you have a state, like spin up or spin down, and it flips back and forth. Before you see my brain explode trying to finally explain what kind of crystals are, a quick message. Thanks to Helix for sponsoring this video. You know what determines the quality of my videos more than anything? Whether I got a good night's sleep. Having a regular sleep schedule is so important to me that I will stop a movie halfway through. Which doesn't make me a monster, Kyle. The science on sleep is clear. We need quality sleep to function better. And having a good mattress can make a big difference in the quality of your sleep. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that conveniently ships right to your door. They help you find the right mattress for you using a sleep quiz that accounts for your body type and sleeping preferences, and they have something for everyone. And if you sleep with a partner, you can even take the quiz together to find something that's a perfect compromise. Based on my results, Helix matched me with the Helix Dust Box. Whoa! Whoa! Fun. I've had my Helix mattress for about a month now. When you crawl into bed, the Dusk Lux feels like that fancy vacation experience. That cozy feeling I'm talking about. With your Helix sleep mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. Plus, there are financing options and flexible payment plans, and it comes rolled up in a box and it delivers straight to your door for free within the US. And if you're nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, well, you have more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. If you don't, they'll pick it up for you and you'll get a full refund. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. Go to helixsleep.com/physicsgirl for up to $200 off your mattress. And now, don't be a monster like me and stop this video halfway through. I promise I'm about to tell you about the real-time crystals that we actually found. Crystals are the repeating in space. Time crystals would be a material that repeats states back and forth in time. That's why he called it a time crystal. Imagine you don't give it any energy. Like a metronome is using the energy you put into it. 2 years later, so in 2014, a paper came out where physicists argued that this is actually impossible because of the second law of thermodynamics. Have you ever heard of that? Over time, like the entropy of the universe tends to increase. Things don't order themselves. The universe tends to go toward chaos. Overall, entropy increases. The gist of that law is that you can't have perpetual motion machines.
¿Dónde está mi slime?
That just spins forever and ever. You can't have you and all of those TikTokers that are trying to make perpetual motion machines. Did you not watch my video on perpetual motion? Essentially what Frank Wilczek thought of was a perpetual motion machine, because even on a microscopic scale, it's not possible to have something like this. But then, fast forward to 2021, physicists used one of Google's quantum computers to make Have you heard of a quantum computer?
No.
Really? Oh, wow, okay.
I'm guessing it either works with quantum stuff or it's
Definitely the former. I've never actually had to explain a quantum computer, so I wasn't ready for this. But the gist of a quantum computer is that with a regular computer, the basic unit, like the basic thing storing your information are bits. Ones and zeros. And they store it as like electrical settings. Even this one, even your phone, like all the processing is done with bits. That's why you have to have terabytes, because you have to have trillions of bits. So that's a typical computer. With a quantum computer, the biggest difference is that the bits are called qubits. Each bit is actually a little quantum. So that could just be an electron or something that is so small it has quantum properties, which means you have to deal with superposition of states and interacting wave functions and tunneling, like quantum tunneling through barriers. You have to deal with that in a quantum computer. But the idea is that if you've got interaction between all your different qubits with each other, you can have many, many different kinds of states with fewer bits. Okay, that's enough. They're not user-friendly. Like, there's no personal quantum computers yet. But in 2021, we used the quantum Google and a bunch of researchers used a quantum computer to make a time crystal. And the quantum computer, or the bits in it, became the time crystal. We're talking about like something happening on a really small microscopic scale. And where can you get one of those that you can easily control? Inside of a quantum computer. That's what the computer's made to do. So you could have these electrons that are pointing spin up and spin down, and you can control whether they're spin up and spin down or whether they're interacting with each other.
Qubits in Google's Sycamore quantum computer are more complicated than just simple individual electron spins, but I simplified and called them spins, so forgive me.
All of this feels a little bit hard to grasp, like why this is important. All that they really did is they used 20 quantum bits inside of this computer, and they set them randomly to states of up and down. So they took all these qubits and put them in a line so that they were close enough, they were closely interacting with each other, which was important. And then they made them either spin up or spin down. Spin up, down, down, up, 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 down, up. So a random configuration, and then they got them to flip. I am not gonna be able to do this. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Yeah, but all at once. They got them to flip to down, up, up, down, 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 up, down. And then
este video es interesante, pero ella es pésima explicando por qué con dedos no tiene...
Now the real test.
And then it'll flip back to its original state, almost like it remembers
Tiene algo
something
más
from the original
con que
state. Which
explicarlo.
is what's so crazy about these things. It's like there's this inherent memory in the system of where it was and where it's going. But I said that 2014, we said that physicists wrote a paper saying this was impossible. But what's missing was that they actually sent in laser light, and they like just kind of kept this laser going at it. It flipped back and forth.
So it wasn't perpetual motion.
So it wasn't perpetual motion because you had an input of energy. The difference between this time crystal and something like a metronome is that the time crystal didn't absorb any of the energy. So like the laser light is obviously interacting with the time crystal in some way, but it's not using any of the energy. That's the cool part.
Yeah. Does it flip right after the laser leaves, soon after?
You would think that the time crystal, this system, would flip states with the frequency, with every oscillation of the light, but that's not what happens. It flips every integer multiple of the frequencies.
I actually got this part a little bit wrong. So I said the qubits are flipping with integer multiples of the frequency of the light, but it's in fact integer multiples of the length of the pulses of the light and has nothing to do with the frequency of the light. So thank you to Jared and Robert who reviewed this video and caught that error for me.
You know, every 2 or every 4, which would be weird because it'd be like, you push a kid on a swing, right? And they go forward and back with every push that you do. Imagine like you push the kid and then it stays over there for 3 more pushes and you have to like go push the kid and it doesn't come back, and then on the 4th time it swings and then it goes up there and stays again. Pushing the kid on the swing and it only comes back every 4 times. Those are the weird things about this time crystal. It doesn't use up any energy and it doesn't heat up the system. The system stays exactly the same temperature, which is very weird. And then the other weird thing is that it doesn't oscillate with the light. It oscillates with an integer multiple. It did break a
Oye, hay alguien aquí. Espera.
Have you ever heard of that? I assume not.
Nope.
It's a complicated
No?
way
No,
of saying that the laws of physics will act the same
Es un ifrit
today
enemigo.
as they do tomorrow. If you put a ball on a hill today, it will roll down. And if you put the ball on the hill tomorrow, it won't roll up. It will still roll down. Translate your system through time. It should do exactly the same thing. If you look at the time crystal, in one moment it's flipping like this, and in the next moment it's not doing that. It's flipping back. Often in physics, you come up with a theory, and then it's like 50 to 100 years before you get the thing. But in this case, the idea was conceived in 2012. The theory is only a 10-year-old, and yet we have these other discoveries already. That's amazing. That never happens in physics. And in fact, in 2015, there were a couple that we thought were time crystals. Like, we were close. And physicists were like, we found time crystals. And then we were like, oh, they didn't quite satisfy the criteria. They have to be a little more stable. And then, fast forward 9 years, you have a quantum computer doing that? That's crazy. And now there have been other time crystals. There's a time crystal made in light. Now I'm gonna I've given you an idea of what a time crystal is. Now I'm just gonna blow that wide open and be like, you don't even need matter.
This sounds like endless opportunities and really cool stuff.
That's awesome.
Is that what it sounds like to physicists as well? Does it sound more?
Maybe. Richard Feynman, are you familiar with his name?
Yes.
He wrote an entire paper that was about imagining a day when quantum computers are used to simulate physics. You have to use quantum systems to simulate the physics and learn something about it, but you are actually doing the physics. And he imagined a day when quantum computers would be used to do something like that, and here we are.
So you wouldn't hit the limits of an application, you would hit the limits of physics.
Exactly. That's time crystals.
Well, you could have sat me down and told me about the quantum theory, and we could have talked about that for a little bit of fun.
Yeah, it's true. Your normal classical computer. Happy physics.
That's the first time you directed it to me. Opposite. Happy physics.
I like how you said thank you. Oh, love it.
Esta es la varita.
over here. Angels.
Se acaban rápido. Ok. La varita. La vareta. Pásale por la vareta. ¿Necesito el huevo? ¿O sí? Agarrar los amarillos. La varita, agarra la varita. Veamos. ¿Cómo hackearon esto? No entendí lo del cristal. ¿Se mueve? ¿No se mueve? Pero no, pero...
How long would it take you to earn $1 million? According to the most notorious MMORPG hacker who made his living for over 20 years finding exploits and generating currency out of thin air, a couple of minutes. While you and me were running around mining ore, slaying monsters for 10 hours to earn a couple coins, Manfred was selling hundreds of billions of digital currency that he told the game to give him, and the game said yes. In the world of online video games, there are many ways to play. Two of these being you can play legit or you can cheat. If you were so inclined to cheat, you would most likely head to a black market. These black markets have a variety of different services for sale, depending on two factors. The first being what game you're searching for, and the second being your ability to find said market that provides services for that game. In an FPS, a first-person shooter, you are no doubt going to find the classics like aimbots and wall hacks without too much trouble. That's amateur hour. Tools for these games get more advanced and less obvious the more you are willing to pay, or the better connections you have to the top coders. In skill-based games that house ranking systems, you're likely going to find boosting services, accounts for sale with high ranks and therefore more prestige to the owner, and boosters are going to subscribe to the same idea I opened this video with. Some are going to play legit, others are going to cheat. In games with economies, you're going to have currencies like gold for sale, powerful coveted items, and perhaps tools like bots when you're offline. On each market you are going to have different types of sellers. You'll have the legit players who earn a little bit of cash on the side, selling their time, whether that be an account for a game that they quit, the currency they've been farming, or their expertise in playing the game on your account. The legit players often, likely due to being safer than dealing with the public, will sell or contract to a middleman service. These middlemen buy as much as they can from the private market, and then they sell to the public for a markup, as well as connecting customers to the boosters blockers of the cut. At the very top of this hierarchy are the people that make the hacks, the people that exploit vulnerabilities in game code to make this market possible. Except for legit currency or skills being traded, which are few and far between, these hackers are the ones that allow the entire black market to operate. They make the wall hacks, they make the bots that people run dozens of to farm gold. They are the backbone of the industry. As kids, many of us dreamed of making a living playing video games when we grew up, but the reality of most people that make a living playing video games is that this is where they operate. And at the very top of this concept was Manfred. He started his MMORPG journey in the same place as the rest of the Western audience, Ultima Online. The difference being that when most people in that audience got bored and moved to a new game, Manfred got bored and started reverse engineering the client. Speaking of these humble beginnings in Ultima, Manfred's ill-gotten gains came directly at the expense of his rivals, something he vowed never to do again. In Ultima Online, houses were a rare, coveted luxury, which were in finite supply. The world map was a set size, and with 30,000 players occupying said map, there simply wasn't enough space for everybody. This of course made houses expensive, and people were selling them on eBay for hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on the size and the location. Players would use these houses as a home base, storage, to place their valuables, decorate with expensive furniture, and to keep them they had to maintain upkeep, or they had to fall into disrepair, eventually from the world, leaving all of the items on the ground for people to freely collect. You could also choose to delete your own house. You can likely see where I'm going with this, and of course where Manfred went for his first business venture. While watching the data that was sent back and forth from the Ultima Online servers to himself, he discovered the packets associated with deleting the house, and attached was an ID of which house was to be deleted. He assumed that the server would check whether the character sending this ID was in fact the owner of said house, and it didn't. He pulled up the house menu of his neighbour, found the ID, pulled up his own house menu, changed the ID from his to his neighbour's, and pressed delete house. Much to his shock, his neighbour's house was gone. In Manfred's inventory was the key to said house, and on the ground was a collection of valuables. Manfred then went on a quest to delete the houses of all his rival guild members, claim the territory, and sell them on eBay, netting himself a very easy, comfortable living, more money than he could make as a skilled software engineer while setting his own hours playing a video game. Eventually, Manfred ran out of enemies and moved on to targeting houses that were in disrepair and due to collapse soon, the idea being that he didn't want to harm innocent players, so this is of course a contradiction by doing it to enemy guilds, and calls into question whether he was just trying to pretty up his image by presenting it this way. According to Manfred, he also tried to help Ultima developers by giving them exploits that were not important to his business, the ones that weren't going to make him a bunch of money, but could impact the game negatively.
I decided with my friend that, we found some hacks and we were like, we'll help them out. Well, I mean, the game has so many bugs, we'll give them a few bugs that we really don't care about, just as an act of good faith. And so we shared these exploits with them. The GM talked to us, kind of developed a relationship where we share information with the GM. So we found an exploit where we could place houses on the ground, which had interesting consequences because if you have a house on the ground and somebody walks on the land above it, they're invading your house. So you could kill them without repercussions. So we disclosed this bug to a GM. The GM got fired because the company thought the GM was working with us because they were like, how are these guys finding these bugs? They have to have inside information. So the GM gets fired, I get banned, my friend gets banned, a bunch of ours get banned. So we're like, alright, we tried to help you out, screw you guys. So we went around and deleted houses on all servers that Ultima Online ran. We deleted about probably 500-600 houses.
At this time, he logged out of Ultima for the last time, never to return. The developers came to work on Monday morning to discover what Manfred had done and were forced to roll back the servers to before his antics and apologize for the bug while getting to work on a permanent fix. Manfred decided at this time that he could not continue to harm the player base in this way and so vowed to stop. Not to stop hacking the games for profit, but to stop having negative impact on the actual player base. Instead, going further underground and making sure no one would ever notice what he was doing ever again. Not the players, and certainly not the developers. The next game he went to was Dark Age of Camelot, and he completed his cycle. He enjoyed the game, he got bored, and he started to tinker, learning about the packets, trying to reverse engineer and hack his way to some fun, as well as, of course, some profit.
If you send that packet while you're in game and not doing the logout sequence, you disassociate your session with the instance of your character. So the game doesn't think you're logged in even though your character is logged in. So you can log in again and get a fresh copy of your character from the database. And what you can do with this is load up your inventory for a save to happen, dump your inventory on a friend or in the bank, and do the B801 packet where you can log in again and you have all the items that were previously saved. So you can duplicate the entire inventory of your character, including your gold.
People were selling items and gold on eBay, and he could create infinite amounts of items and gold. You can guess exactly what he did from then on. Of course, he would eventually be moving on to another game, but just to illustrate how silly the MMORPG was, this duplication bug existed until 2013, over a decade after Manfred was selling, which was in 2003-2004, which is also the time that eBay banned the sale of digital goods, which pushed the entire market deeper underground. This was the time when Manfred became the supplier for a Chinese vendor for the next few years. Now, just to put a finer point on this for you guys, people buy gold in these games, people buy items. The more popular the game is, the more demand and the more supply there will be for the sale of these products. Anyone who has to farm legit or even use bots will have a certain dollar value per hour that they cannot go below because it simply wouldn't be worthwhile anymore and they would move to another game or just stop entirely. With the ability to duplicate wealth, you can meet the entire demand of the whole market with unlimited supply, undercutting every other seller and taking them all out of business. This means you can single-handedly supply the entire game's demand, generating real-world dollars the whole time for things you've created out of thin air in seconds. This is essentially an unlimited money glitch, but in real life. The only limit to how much money you can earn if you're in Manfred's position is the demand of the market for you to supply. If you could only do this in a single game, you would probably have a good time until you ruin the game's market or the game's population died down, thus meaning that not many people are buying gold. But according to Manfred, the only game he didn't manage to hack money in was World of Warcraft, which would of course make sense since it was the big game from a big developer, which presumably would have better security. He did, however, manage to do many other things in the game, including increasing his talents from their maximum to triple the value, making his character massively overpowered, able to solo most dungeons in the game.
So I hooked up my friends with this exploit and we were running Molten Core. I think Molten Core is a 20 or 40 person dungeon, and we were doing it with 8 people. This worked for like a year until we kind of got overzealous and started taking it to PvP and like killing people in one hit and stuff like that. Players and the GMs didn't take too kindly on that, so...
Which would of course lead to the generation of gold much faster than anybody else in the game. WoW was the outlier. Every other MMO he played would end with him generating infinite wealth. He plays, he finds out how to generate the infinite wealth, becomes the largest supplier to the black market trade, and then moves on to the next game. Lord of the Rings Online, Darkstone Holy World, Anarchy Online, Age of Conan, Rift, Final Fantasy XI, Final Fantasy XIV, Asheron's Call 2, Shadowbane, Age of Wushu, Lineage 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, and Wildstar, just to name a few that he's talked about publicly. According to the Darknet Diaries podcast episode that covers some of Manfred's untold stories, this is a brief rundown of his antics in some of those games.
Lineage 2.
He found a bug when buying items from a vendor. He could change the item ID the vendor was selling and buy any item he wanted for any price he wanted, even items that were not allowed for players to have. And the reverse was true. He could sell a stick to a vendor, would change the item ID in the packet, and the vendor would pay as if it was a high-level, expensive item.
Final Fantasy Online, the first one.
He found numerous integer overflow exploits in this game. Like when he tried to give another player a negative amount of points, the player would end up with the maximum amount of it instead. He could sell a rock to a vendor, Let's say it was a diamond, and the vendor would buy rocks at diamond prices.
Rift Online.
He could withdraw negative platinum from the guild bank, which would result in positive platinum in his inventory, allowing him to create as much gold as he wanted. It had the same exact exploits as the first Final Fantasy. One allowed him to split stacks of items like potions, which can thus an integer overflow during the split, like trying to take -1 potion from the stack. This resulted in him getting 2 billion potions.
The most ridiculous, of course, being the WildStar example.
So that one was creating a bid on Rock's house. So the specifics of that one were to create a maximum signed 64-bit integer bid. We'll get the exact number. And the game would take that maximum bid of 9 quintillion and it would add a 20% fee on top of that, which would put it up into 11 quintillion or whatever. So when I tried to subtract 11 quintillion from your character, it would roll your amount back into the positive, and you'd end up with 9 quintillion in-game platinum.
If you were to take all the WildStar Online platinum that Manfred had and sell it for real money in today's market value, Manfred would have 397 trillion US dollars.
According to Manfred, he treated this like a real business and he paid his taxes. He even described his job as follows.
I was basically expanding the game's functionality to provide players with in-app purchases before in-app purchases were a thing.
He refers to himself as an ethical black hat hacker, just providing a service that players wanted that the developers didn't yet provide. Now, knowing a thing or two about MMORPG economies, Manfred, whether he wants to admit it or not, was destroying the economies of these games. It isn't as simple as he makes it sound. To put it into perspective, most MMORPGs nowadays, even if they are considered pay to win, do not sell you currency or resources that are gathered in the game directly. They usually sell cash shop items that you can trade to other players for their in-game resources or currency to not create an infinite pool of money that will break the economy over time. If you just create infinite money, inflation gets ridiculously out of control. Manfred is clearly an intelligent individual capable of making a living exploiting games made by billion-dollar companies without being caught for over 20 years. I don't believe he truly thinks he's done harm in this pursuit of a career, but it is interesting to hear what he has to say and how he thinks this is fine, because other hackers were doing really bad things and they are truly the bad guys.
A lot of the Chinese and Russian hackers that are involved with this, and there's a lot of them, they hack in a way that's completely black hat, completely unethical. They don't care about compromising servers. They'll send malware to people that play the game just so they could install a keylogger and steal their game credentials, and they'll log into hundreds of accounts at a time and basically strip the characters and accounts naked, immensely hurting the players that are playing this game.
What he was doing may have been less in your face to the player base, at least after the Ultima Online antics, but he was still contributing to a massive negative aspect of the industry that many people never even knew existed. As he noticed that in-app purchases were becoming the norm and claiming he did not want to compete with the developers, which he believed would have crossed the line into unethical, he quit his career as an MMORPG hacker. So he laid down his black hat and picked up a white one. Manfred has since come out publicly with who he is, done multiple interviews, including a DEF CON talk where he went over some of his exploits, talked about how he did them, created multiple YouTube videos where he does live hacks into current MMORPGs such as Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy XIV and Guild Wars 2, all while working as a security analyst. All the bugs he shows nowadays are reported to the developers in advance and fixed before he puts them public. So that is the story of Manfred, the most notorious hacker the online gaming world has ever seen, with zero legal repercussions and now a public face to the screen name that supplied a yet unknown dollar amount of black market digital items across dozens of online gaming worlds. Chances are, if you ever bought from the black market in any of these games, you were buying from something that Manfred created out of thin air. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Cygnus Garden. Historias de un hacks. Podemos ver a estos.
This episode is for men only.
And women only.
And everyone only.
Let's talk about that.
Todos.
Good mythical morning.
Year after year, products have become increasingly more inclusive.
Yep, that's good.
But there are still plenty of products stuck in the stereotype-heavy marketing game.
Yeah, how long are guys gonna be condemned to buying things that only come in green, black, or blue? I like other colors too, like amaranth, burnt umber, celadon, sarcoline, vermilion, claret.
But if you take away all that marketing,
Alabaster.
can we still tell whether something is
Burleywood.
intended to be for men
Mikado.
or for women?
Fulvus.
It's time for, are these dumb gendered products for men or for women? Will our testes shrink up if we use this soap with floral scented lemon? Here's how it works. We did this once before
Orange.
about 3 years ago, and it turns out there are still lots of products to test.
Yeah, we're gonna be presented with two markedly similar products. One's gonna be the regular version of the product, not marketed to a specific gender in any way, and the other will be a version of that product that has been intentionally marketed to a specific gender.
We're gonna test both versions, guess which product is the gender marketed version for 1 point.
Okay.
But if we can guess which gender it's marketed to, we can get an extra point.
The winner's gonna receive a gift basket for men.
All right.
All right, so we got the marketed to men or women. We're gonna choose one of these because one of these is marketed to men or women and the other one's gender neutral.
Right.
What is this though?
Well, it looks like a trimmer, and so this black tape on the bottom, that is something
trimmer?
that the team added. So I think you can stick it in your ear or your nose.
Well, this sounds really aggressive.
What is better, to go nose first and then ear?
I think you go ear first, then nose.
Nose stuff is like, that's like really close to the brain. I think you start in the ear.
I start in the nose. Oh,
I think if you go in the right ear and then go in the left nostril, it doesn't realize it happened.
oh, I don't. Oh, it just grabbed something.
Good Lord, that thing is high powered.
Oh. All right. Now this one, it's got a cap on it.
How does it work?
And then
a little button on the bottom.
Oh, it's a lot weaker.
This is
I'm
super
not gonna say like women. You didn't think I was gonna say that. I wasn't about to say that.
Oh, it still works though.
Oh,
kind of nice. You know, you don't want to overdo the trimming of your nose hairs because it's actually a great barrier for germs.
Okay, so the major difference is there's a lot more power here, and there's a cap on this.
And
one.
the head on this thing is just like, good Lord, look at that thing. I think you could cut grass with
It's
this.
scary. It's scary. All right, you ready to vote?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
This has to be for women.
I think this is marketed to men, but
I mean,
I believe one of us is right.
The conspicuous nature of the cap.
The product with the green tape is the Aquarel ear and nose hair trimmer, and it is marketed with no gender bias. And the one with the black tape is True Glow by Conair Ladies Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. Marketed
Hey,
to
she
women.
was-
Don't need that.
It comes with a pouch
Ladies
that,
have nose hairs.
¿Tiene
according
defensa?
to Conair, is for neat and discreet storage, making the trimmer perfect for tossing in a purse and taking along on your travels.
I like my ladies with some thick nose hairs though.
The ear hairs where I like it.
So I was right but wrong, but got a point.
We have two heart-shaped food items. Show us what you got.
Heart
man.
beef. So these are like your little Valentines where they say things on them.
It's beef jerky?
Yeah.
This one says
says
love.
kiss me. This one says beef mine. Get it? But it's just beef jerky.
Beef mine.
And not great beef jerky either.
Get a beef mine. Get a beef mine.
No need to put that in the rest of my system.
I like to inoculate myself with it though.
Oh.
And then over here, we've just got heart-shaped crackers.
This is like a Valentine's thing?
I'm just resisting the urge to make generalizations that like, oh, you know how women love hearts and crackers, and you know how much women hate beef jerky unless it has like a lovely sentiment written on it. I don't know anything about women. I don't know much about men either.
If I brought these home to my wife, these crackers, first of all, she'd be like, "Why'd you get those?" I mean, I don't think she would.
But if you brought these home and they said love on them,
she would think that I had brought this home for me because I like beef jerky. She doesn't care about beef jerky, and I think that while this is a generalization, I think the expectation is that more men like beef jerky than women. I'm not saying it's true,
but how on earth are they gonna like actually put marketing on packaging that this is for women, or that this is for?
This is the tricky thing. This is the mind screw part of this. Is this trying to make beef jerky for women? Or is it trying to make Valentine's hearts for
vamos a
men?
intentar
You see
la
what I'm saying?
impress-
We trying to make women like beef jerky? We trying to make men like hearts? And that's where it gets in your mind and messes with you.
All right, I'm ready to vote.
3.
Vamos a perder.
1.
I think you're right.
I think one of us is right. This is a gendered product.
I think
But
it's
is it
for women to buy for their men who love beef
pero no
jerky.
tengo
and
la
I think it might be for their men
llave?
to buy for their women.
What
on
do you
Valentine's
get your
Day.
guy on Valentine's Day? This.
Okay, so the crackers are Valley Lavash heart-shaped crackers, and they're not marketed to any specific gender.
Yep.
And then the beef jerky, those are laser-etched meat hearts by Manly Man Co.
So it's more on the nose. You're right, Link.
And the
You gave me
Manly
the
Man Company's mission is to help everyone find unique and intriguing gifts men will love.
You know, men are so hard to buy for.
Yeah, here's the commercial for the jerky hearts for men.
Oh, yeah, look at that man. He's so happy eating that beef jerky heart. He's in love with it. He's throwing it to himself like a dog treat.
I think I could have done well in that ad.
You're jealous that wasn't you?
Yeah, beef jerky hearts. Call me next time. ManlyManCo.com. So you were all the way right.
Yes! Mythica is our first ever super immersive weekend experience with us, the Mythical Kitchen, and a big old bunch of Mythical crew. We are super excited about this thing, this experience that we are creating for you. It's October 20th through the 30th in Austin, Texas, for that one weekend only, so you don't want to miss it, okay?
What's it gonna have? What's it gonna have? Well, Mythicon will have a GM-themed party, mythical food and drink, a special
morir.
show for me and this guy's name's Link.
Porque usó
Meet
eso.
and greets with us and the Mythical crew, a dance party, a Mythical Kitchen hosted eating contest, Cotton Candy Randy's housewarming, what? A mythical museum with legendary mythical relics, live ear biscuits, live hot dog as a sandwich, a mythical movie house featuring rare, never seen a VR experience of this set. You can be on this set. A karaoke jam hosted by Emily, a tattoo parlor with real mythical tattoos, a mythical society house with a whole bunch of stuff, and some surprise performances, and a whole lot more that I'm not even gonna say right now.
It's gonna be huge, it's gonna be immersive, you're gonna be transported to another dimension. Tickets are on sale now, including the Mega Beast Pass, which includes exclusive merch and more.
Okay, guys, for this round, one product is marketed to men, one to women, and one is gender neutral. You're gonna try and find the two that are marketed towards men and women. That means 4 points are up for grabs.
And they're put in the same packaging. So
Y'all like put them out in pack.
So it's makeup. So I'm gonna go.
You going hand, huh?
Now we wear the makeup. You know, you don't
Lo
want to be too
intenté.
shiny for you. I think we wear gender neutral makeup. And what I'll do is I'll just put it on my back of my hand. That's what I was taught. And then
I always make up the back of my hand. Do you ever notice how good the back of my hand looks?
yeah, it's great, right? Now I'm not looking at the colors here. I mean, the middle one kind of goes. Well, okay. I am learning a little something.
Está
Actually,
más
for
difícil.
real, something, right? I'm just going with initial instincts here. I noticed some differences about these, and
definitely noticing some differences.
I don't know if
I'm just gonna vote, and then I'll tell you why. Okay?
Yeah, me too.
3, 2, 1.
All right, I'm saying that's for men,
Me
and I'm
too.
saying I have no clue, so that's just
So
a crapshoot.
you probably saw the same thing.
We agreed.
This like blended in and was super thin, like, oh, don't want to see a dude wearing makeup. This one was thicker than this one, so I just thought that like, okay, traditionally women more used to wearing makeup, don't care if people know they're wearing makeup.
Just slather it on, unabashed.
Interesting. Okay, the bottle with the white tape is non-gendered foundation from the ordinary.
That's
a great name for a...
You're technically right about that because you didn't put your flag there.
Yep, I'm good so far.
The one with the black tape is CoverGirl Olay Simply Ageless Foundation marketed to mature women.
Old women?
Yeah.
All right, I got lucky.
And then, yeah, the green tape is War Paint
Ni
Foundation.
siquiera tengo que hacer nada.
War Paint for Men.
Yeah, here's a commercial announcing their partnership with a UK soccer club.
Uh-huh. Got a little... What? Men's makeup in football.
And what?
And what? And what?
And choice for you to do whatever you need to do to be the real you.
I don't understand this ad.
Because confidence is not exclusive to anyone.
No.
Everyone deserves to feel confident.
Yep.
And who cares? Let's just let anyone do whatever they need to do to be the real them.
Football and makeup.
And what?
And what? Link,
Great.
you did great on that round.
I believe in the message. Anyone who wants to do what they need to do to themselves to make themselves feel confident, freaking go for it.
Okay, question. You wear makeup on this show. I wear makeup on this show. Do you wear makeup ever not on this show?
If I have like a big honking zit that's distracting, yeah. And if I have herpes, I do not go out.
Whoa!
¿Qué rayos?
We got dogs with us.
I love these doggies. It's been a while since you guys have been on the show, Barb. Now Barbara's gonna, as soon as she realizes that there's food in front of her, she's
Me
gonna
cae mal
go
como no
nuts. So we got
importa
two
si le
cakes. What are we trying to
pones
figure
la
out?
dificultad en
Yeah,
fácil o...
they're dog birthday cakes.
No importa.
And one is marketed towards a particular gender, believe it or not.
Okay, Barbara, let's see what you
And I
got.
feel like can we break it apart? All right, I have a
Look,
boy
look,
dog
I'll give it to
and
you.
a girl dog.
Look.
So let's see. Boy dog likes it. He wants all of it. And then does the girl dog like it?
Okay, Barbara went for that, and now she's going for more. Barbara, look, no, you can't have any more of that.
Jade, the girl dog, does not like it.
Okay, I know you're gonna go over there and get that one. We want to see you.
Jade is starting to like this.
We want to see you.
Jasper not happy.
Oh, you don't like the icing?
Keep your dog on your side, man. And then how does this taste?
Don't embarrass the family. Don't embarrass the family, okay?
Jasper's really good. So, boy dog likes both. Girl dog like this one better?
What do you think about it?
Wait, Jesse.
Barbara's like, this is too difficult to eat. It's tough to eat it, isn't it?
See,
You like
Jay-
this one.
Jay doesn't want to bite stuff.
She is a girl. Whoa! Oh gosh, Jasper!
Me too, man.
As long as Jasper keeps embarrassing the Neal family, the McLaughlin family will be just.
No, that's not bad.
Why'd you put it right? Oh, pretty good.
It is pretty good, isn't it? And you're a boy.
Well, this is not fun, Robert.
It tastes kind of like gingerbread cookies.
This ain't gonna rain.
Did you eat it out of your mouth?
We kissed.
Ah! Gross! That was nasty, man.
She projectile. Oh my gosh, Barbara! Just when I was talking about embarrassing the family. Okay, I'm ready to guess.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I think this one's marketed to the lady dogs.
Yep.
Even though my lady dog likes this one.
Why do you both think that is marketed towards girl dogs?
It's more ornate. It's got purple on it. My girl dog is more
purple. The purple.
So that is Bubba's Rose Biscuit Co's unisex birthday cake.
Should have done it, brother.
And then on the other side we have Lazy Dog Cookie Co's Happy Birthday Cup Pie treat for boy dog.
Boy dog. Boy dog. Why do you like it so much, Barb?
Oh, okay. This has got to be toothpaste, which is great after eating that dog.
Oh, I kind of like that aftertaste.
Just a little. I'm gonna go with this. That one's white. And then one in the blue bottle. Oh, it's actually blue. That is a deep, dark blue.
Whoa, the blue one smells like Ben Gay.
The white one's just very minty. Nothing unexpected besides just packed a punch.
Do women like to eat Ben Gay? Depends on where you slather it on.
Did you try the blue first? I tried the white first, and now I can't taste the blue because the white is so minty.
I went with blue first. I thought it was very good. That's wrong. Oh, but it's definitely more minty. I like it better though.
Ooh, you're right.
burning your teeth with sports ointment. Okay, I'm ready.
Three, two, one.
I mean, this has got to be for men. I think that the white one is for men.
Okay.
I think the blue is to throw us off.
The toothpaste in the white container is public goods. Which is completely gender.
Yeah, it looks like it. Look at that. No, it's for men. Trust me, I tried it. Which means I have to be right.
Blue toothpaste is Signal White Now Men Instant White Plus Anti-Stain Toothpaste.
White now. I should have known. I mean, it does taste like Bengay. It's a whitening for smoking coffee, wine things. You know us men with the smoking coffee and wine habits. There was nothing in any of these rounds, with the exception of the nose hair trimmer, that I would have been like, this one makes sense that it would be for men because men have more nose hair, so they need something like a weed whacker to go up in there.
But that was for women, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but it was the complete opposite.
So I want a gift basket for men. I don't know if I should accept it.
Wow.
Oh, I can't resist it. The masculine testosterone within me. What is this?
It looks like
it's a portrait of
mushroom
you
McLaughlin.
made out of mushrooms.
That's real nice.
It's a fun guy.
It's not me. It's just a guy with hair and a beard. I mean, I get mistaken for them all the time. It's just a mushroom guy. It just happens to look like me. No harm, no foul.
Taste this man meat.
How you feel? You got yourself a masculine and that's pretty cool.
I'm impressed and disappointed.
Thanks for subscribing and clicking that bell.
You know what time it is.
I'm Liddy from Houston, Texas. And this is Toby. He has a big old crush on Red. And it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Feeling is mutual, Toby. Click the top link to watch us test tips on how to get guys to like you and get mythical.
And to find out where the wheel of mythicality is gonna land. Tickets are on sale now, including the Mega Beast Pass, which includes exclusive merch and more. MythicOnTickets.com.
Tempita. La recompensa. Tengo idea de qué hace, pero esto. Una bendición de Maple Leaf. I'm Maple Leaf, I can fly. I'm Maple Leaf. Can touch the sky. Maple Leaf. ¿Puedo jugar en fácil? Buena try. Sí, sí. También puedes practicar en fácil. Ok, práctica en fácil.
Wipe them out. Divine light.
¡Ah! ¿Cómo me mató? Ah.
Heaven's door. First light. Wipe them
You look much better like this.
Ahora tengo pociones para curarme. Ah, sí, cierto, eso. No puedo ni con fácil. No. Ah. Es difícil. Son muchos buffs.
Take it easy.
Mm. Estoy algo aburrido, la verdad. personaje tuvo una idea o algo. Ah, no sé. Sigue la pelea. Ah, no, sigue proteger este lugar.
Divine light. Divine light, sword of light. Divine light.
Hey, yes. El yes. %, de ser feliz. Estoy feliz. Ya me cansé. Ok. Vamos por nuestro bonus.
There are 3 realms in this world: heaven, human, and the boundary realm. These realms exist due to something called the spirit aura. In order to keep the balance, this aura must circulate among the 3 realms. Those who collect the spirit aura are men from the boundary realm, called the Black and White Warriors, and this is where our story begins. 2 black and white warrior children are wielding their weapons against a beast in the middle of the night. The white-haired child, called Chowbai, gets caught in the monster's claws. Just then, an alarm clock rings and a black-haired child, called Chowhi, wakes up and hurries to Chowbai's room, who we discover is her sister. The children run quickly towards a large castle to clock in for work. Inside we find Master Yama, who is the 2 children's boss. He's a little annoyed that the kids are late but asks for an update regarding their tasks. Chowbai responds that they have yet to finish their tasks, which of course angers Master Yama. He drives them out of the castle and demands that they go back to work. The siblings board the ship to the human realm where they meet other black and white warriors. The ship takes them to the human realm, where we see a child in a dark alley getting beaten up by multiple men who are trying to squeeze money out of him. This child has superhuman strength and takes out the very last man standing in his way. As soon as he does, Chowbai and Chowhi arrive and immediately notice this child is possessed with a wandering spirit. The warrior children take their weapons out but are slightly alarmed at the power of the spirit before them. They
Por 15 minutos nomás.
to take a defensive and an almost escapist approach to fighting and tire out their opponent. They actually run away from the fight and try to seek help from the spirit of
Más
the team, but the
espacio para personajes.
up to them. The 2 are then taken away by an unknown force in the spirit, who is now the beast from earlier, which follows them to a nearby rooftop. Chowbai gets caught, but Chowhi catches her before she falls to the ground. The monster gears up to attack the kids, but another warrior blocks the attack and helps the kids fight the beast. The wandering spirit eventually gets defeated, and the woman who helped them flees without a trace. Bai Long, who is a powerful spirit hunter, locks in on more wandering spirits escaping from a sealed area. Him and his team scramble to strengthen the seals and inform the palaces in other realms at once. Meanwhile, Chowbai and Chowhi get scolded by Master Yama for not being able to defeat the wandering spirit. He threatens to fire them, but the 2 aren't even listening to his sermons. Suddenly, Zhang Kui, a 10-hell general, arrives at Master Yama's place. It is revealed that he's the kid's caretaker, and even goes so far as to jokingly ask Master Yama if they can stay at his house for the time being. As Yama's secretary, called Shaw, gives another task to the children, Zhang reports that the seal of Kanchai will break soon. We then cut back to the human realm again, and the kids watch over a cartoonist as he works on a manga. As it turns out, the children are there to escort this man's soul to the boundary realm, but need to make his death an accident. While looking for flower pots to drop on his head, they spot the man getting into a cab and quickly follow him. Meanwhile, under the sea the seal starts to break. The children follow the guy as he tries submitting his finished manga to a publisher. Dressed as a homeless person, Chowhi tries to keep him in place as Chowbai looks for a flower pot. The man gives the boy money, but Chowhi refuses, saying that it won't even buy him a meal. The man gives him a sandwich instead, and leaves him just as Chowbai comes back to tell her brother she can't find any flower pots in the office building. The man's manga isn't accepted by the editor for a multitude of reasons, but the man stands up for himself and his story. The editor gives him hell until he leaves the building deflated. We discover that Chowhi had possessed the editor in order to get the man to commit suicide. Up on the roof, he contemplates the past 10 years of his life. As he does, he spots his friend whom he thought was into him romantically with another man. Looking all lovey-dovey, we see that this is actually Chowhi's doing in an attempt to get him to die, and Chowbai questions her brother's integrity, saying his ideals shouldn't have to be attacked like this. The children watch as the guy jumps to his death, but Chowhi remembers the sandwich that the guy gave him earlier, and suddenly feels guilty. The kids swoop down and save the guy from dying. The guy wakes up unharmed, and sees his unpossessed editor run towards him and offer him a publishing deal. The guy is saved, and the kids start crying because they saved the man instead of killing him, which is the exact opposite of their mission. Meanwhile, Bai Long and his team estimate that they have less than 3 days left until the seal breaks completely. In a vast field, a man with white hair starts training with a robot. After practically destroying the robot, he is greeted by Lushu, the woman who saved Chowbai and Chowhi from the wandering spirit. The guy reminds Lushu to train after spirit hunters are being mobilized because of the spirit seal. A messenger comes running to the pair and tells them that they need to go to the White Mountain where the Great Seal is located, immediately on a reconnaissance mission. Meanwhile, Chowhi finds himself in an unfamiliar place and remembers what happened, realizing that he has been taken away from his sister by a spirit monster. Elsewhere, Zhang scolds Chowbai for making trouble. Chowbai tearfully explains that they were only trying to help an old man fulfill his last wish, but a monster suddenly attacked him. A guard reveals that the seal might break at any time now, and Zhang goes on to order that more people should be sent down there. Bai Long comforts the little girl and tells her that the spirit hunters have been deployed. Meanwhile, Xiao Yi tries to come up with a plan to escape but finds himself at a loss, when suddenly, an image of Xiao Bai appears before him and asks why he left her alone. He runs to her but the image suddenly fades away. Meanwhile, Bai Long explains to Xiao Bai that the seal of Tianchai actually holds the 100 ghost spirits. Around 1,000 years ago, Master Zhang sealed 99 of the most violent ghosts there, and the spirit monster had been gathering the ghosts that leaked from the seal, and mistook Xiao He as one of the spirits. Just as Bai Long finishes his monologue, the seal gets broken. The water below starts to glow red before exploding, releasing immense energy to the world. Somewhere else, Xiao He reflects on his life with Xiao Bai, when suddenly he hears a whistle coming from somewhere. He runs towards the sound, stopping in front of a large statue, and asks if there's anyone who can hear him. Just then, a man on top of the statue laughs at his plight. With the seal broken, spirits are free to escape into the human realm. The spirit hunters work hard to stop them, but a large monster spirit emerges from the seal and confronts Zhang and his crew. They immediately realize that this is the 100 ghost spirit. Meanwhile, Xiao He is busy with his own enemy. This guy taunts him, and immediately puts restraints on poor Xiao He. The guy reveals to Xiao He that he is imprisoned inside the seal, and now he's stuck down there with other vicious spirits. Back outside, Zhang and the 100 ghost spirit reunited before getting into a fight. However, Zhang easily defeats the spirit with his spit, and then orders for the Jinko cannon to be prepared soon. Bai Long asks if he's sure since the cannon is really strong, and Zhang responds that bombing the place to the ground is better than having Xiao He turn into a monster like the 100 ghosts. Back down, Xiao He breaks out of his restraints easily. He watches as the spirits get absorbed by the guy antagonizing him, completely unaware that a monster is behind him. Back on the ship, Zhang says that he'll rescue Xiao Bai. Luxu appears and Zhang entrusts Xiao Bai with her care, before instructing Bai Long to launch the Jinko cannon and destroy the Great Seal if he's not back in 1 hour. Zhang jumps into the seal to find Xiao Bai. Xiao He easily defeats the monster sneaking up behind him. He is attacked by the man, who finally introduces himself as San Liu Zi. He seems to know Xiao He personally, even calling him by his real name, Wang Heng, which of course shocks the boy. Wu Zi continues to attack Xiao He, even getting a spirit to wrap itself on the boy's body. Xiao He breaks free and in the process absorbs the spirit in his body. With spirits escaping at an alarming rate, Zhang goes straight for the seal's opening, but is stopped by enemies who want revenge. Back down, Xiao He keeps absorbing spirits into his body. Wu Zi watches the whole thing unfold, while stating that Xiao He needs to eat more spirits to get strong and join his team once more. Xiao He suddenly implodes and transforms into a grown man. Zhang then warns his enemies. Meanwhile, Bai Long watches as another strange spirit appears in their meter, and they suspect it to be Xiao He. Xiao Bai is confused because initially, her brother doesn't have any spiritual power. Luxu wonders if something happened inside the seal for him to gain power quickly, and deduces that Xiao He must be the 100th ghost. Wu Zi greets Xiao He, now calling him Wang Heng, and starts attacking him. The pair battle it out, but Xiao He, or Wang Heng, succeeds in incapacitating Wu Zi. The intensity of their battle reaches the outskirts of the seal, where Zhang is currently located. He immediately knows that the ghost aura of Xiao He, which is Wang Heng, has been released. Zhang finally defeats the people trying to stop him from getting into the seal and goes on his merry way. Back down, Wu Zi wants a round 2 with Wang Heng, but his words strike a chord in Wang Heng's memories. Wang Heng remembers a younger Xiao Bai, asking him not to leave her alone. This momentary pause gives Wu Zi an opening and tries to swallow Wang Heng. However, the latter keeps getting flashbacks of his past human life with Xiao Bai. On the ship, the signal meter is heavily damaged, rendering them almost useless in monitoring the seal. Once the screen returns to normal, Bai Long sees glimpses of Wang Heng about to be feasted on by Wu Zi. Back down, Zhang appears just in time and confronts Wu Zi. The latter admits to eating Wang Heng, which makes Zhang angry. However, the energy Wu Zi gains from Wang Heng gives him incredible power, and he manages to stop Zhang with ease. Up on the ship, Bai Long and the crew see all of this happen and try to hide it from Xiao Bai, but it's too late. Back inside the seal, Zhang is fuming and threatens Wu Zi. Wu Zi taunts Zhang, which was an incredibly bad move on his part, and Zhang unleashes his full power on Wu Zi. In a flashback, a younger Wang Heng is revealed to be a prince living in a palace. The queen is approached by one of her maids, saying that there are rumors going around about the princess being possessed by a fox spirit, and that she needs to be killed. The queen is instructing Wang Heng to take care of his sister, when a messenger runs in and reports that courtiers have come to protest the princess's existence. Somewhere in the dark plains of Wu Zi's stomach, Xiao He the child warrior, Wang Heng the grown man's spirit, and the Prince Wang Heng meet. Back on the ship, Xiao Bai learns of her brother's disappearance. In Wu Zi's stomach, The prince remembers his sword training. It appears that the prince and princess have gone into hiding after the world had become too turbulent for them to stay in the palace. Meanwhile, the Jinko cannon has been prepared. Luxu makes Chao Bai understand that Wang Heng was a brutal spirit who killed many humans. The spirit hunters couldn't defeat him, so the boundary realm erased his memories and kept him imprisoned. Luxu lies to Chao Bai to make her believe that Chao He is not her brother. More memories of Chao He start popping up, and in this one, the prince and princess are almost killed by someone they trusted. Suddenly, the fox spirit that lives inside the princess appears and defeats the men. In another flashback, the prince and princess are still in hiding. Chao Bai, whose name of the princess is Chao Wan, refuses the steamed bun her brother offers her. Chao He then gives her a pretty toy that resembles a flower, and Chao Wan refuses to play with it still. However, she eyes the toy and suggests to Chao He to visit the Old Autumn Festival in the hopes of getting food for them. She takes the toy and thanks Chao He as he leaves. Suddenly, the fox spirit comes out of the princess and is confronted by Luxu and another warrior. Meanwhile, Chao He gets mooncakes for his sister but overhears a couple of village folk saying that the princess of the past dynasty was captured and will now be tortured. Chao He hurries and sees Chao Wan in the middle of the palace grounds. The fox spirit refuses to leave her body, and the spirit hunters have no choice but to leave and let the palace guards kill the princess. Chao He watches as his sister is torn to bits, and in the end, Chao He is also killed by the people. Luxu's subordinates run to the 6th palace when they encounter Yao Ren Jr., another Sentinel general. Luxu's subordinate, called Lei, introduces himself to Yao Ren properly, but Yao Ren draws his weapon on the guy in an attempt to intimidate him. The other subordinate tells him that there's an emergency at White Mountain, and that they are to request instructions from Master Zhu, master of the 6th palace. Another Ten-Hell general, called Siku Tong, tries to turn them both away, but Lei pushes back. Dong Ting, the strongest of the 10 Hell Generals, intervenes before a fight breaks out. Dong Ting is accompanied by Fu Fu, another 10 Hell General. The 10 Hell Generals send Lei back on his way. Meanwhile, Chao He can't believe that he's only been used by the spirit hunters as a tool to seal Wang Heng. Back on the ship, Chao Bai can only watch as more spirits escape the seal. Luxu and Bai Long prepare to use the cannon. Chao He remembers his past life while being haunted by Wang Heng. Outside, Zhang continues to battle Wu Zi. The seal gets wider and Luxu instructs Bai Long to launch the cannon. Chao Bai pleads with Luxu to wait just a little more, which earns her a slap from the spirit hunter. Luxu essentially says that their safety in the human realm is more important than waiting for Zhang and Chao. Frustrated, Chao Bai jumps in, much to Luxu's surprise. Back somewhere in Wu Zi's stomach, Chao He tries to land a punch on Wang Heng but is dodged every single time. Chao He seems to be transported to another plane, still refusing to acknowledge that this is the end for him. Back outside, Zhang succeeds in wounding Wu Zi. Before he can finish him off, he is ripped apart from the inside. Zhang watches in horror as Wu Zi seems to be eaten by another entity behind a smoke cloud. Then from behind the smoke, Wang Heng emerges. And this brings the anime to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.
Lo apagaré. Vamos a morir. Se acabaron eso. ¿Qué pasó, Miss Lan?
Remember this beautiful paste? This is basically our MSG.
MSG? This is the most beautiful woman on the earth. It's been a good run, Nigella, but Uncle Roger found new favorite female chef. Uncle Roger recovering from food poisoning. Hiya, feels so weak. So weak. Now I know how lactose intolerant niece and nephew feel when they drink milk. Have you ever had diarrhea so bad you have to retile bathroom wall? Whew.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm a professional chef, and these are my $242 fried rice ingredient.
$242? That more expensive than Uncle Roger kidney? What is this? Is this for the Last Supper or something? It's too much. Egg fried rice, so simple. 3 ingredients: egg, fried, and rice. Niece Esther think money grow on tree.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm a home cook, and these are my $13 fried rice.
Okay, that more like it. $13. Still too expensive, but that better.
Not again. We got this.
So they give the home cook expensive ingredient, and they give professional chef cheap ingredient. Uncle Roger thinks skill matter more than price. So I gonna focus on niece Esther because she says she professional chef. But we all know niece and nephew, professional chef got big range. Are you like Uncle Wang Gang level or Mr. Chili Jam?
Where do you find this?
Where you find that? The sea? Eat a fucking crab.
What's really important about fried rice is having everything ready so that when you're cooking it, it's super, super fast. We're gonna use the entire shrimp. The shrimp head actually is one of the best parts.
Uncle Roger said before, I love head and shrimp head good also. I like how niece Esther handling the shrimp without even using gloves. That's how you know egg fried rice good. When you raw dog your seafood.
So many things that you can do with it. Gabby was probably just gonna use the shrimp bodies as the meat to quickly saute into her rice. Now you're gonna be wasting a lot of the other great parts of the shrimp. Okay, we're just gonna have to devein the shrimp.
Good, good.
Bottle was lit.
Shrimp Wayne is like Jamie Oliver, full of shit. Emotional, damn it!
We're gonna be making a shrimp stock that I'm gonna
shrimp stock, good.
It's just gonna elevate the rice. It's gonna give a nice base.
Very smart idea. Use shrimp stock to cook your rice better than using water.
So Gabby gave me scallions and garlic to use in the recipe, and I'm just gonna use these scraps for the stock. Give a quick to the garlic, and what this does is releases some aroma.
Hiya, if you're throwing whole garlic in broth, then the skin on that okay, but you already peeled the skin off. Why you throw garlic skin in there, niece Esther? Hiya, this broth not been.
So my shrimp stock has been going for about half an hour.
Oh, colander, hiya.
On the shrimp shells to extract.
I think they're doing this on purpose to torture Uncle Roger.
So I have my shrimp heads, which I'm gonna be doing 2 different things with it. I'm gonna be making a shrimp oil and a shrimp paste. We're gonna.
She really making use of all parts of shrimp. That's good.
And these shrimp heads that are super crispy, we're gonna be making a beautiful shrimp paste. I don't throw anything out. Maximize, maximize, maximize.
No entendía qué tenía que hacer.
Marie Kondo must hate this woman.
Para
Now
las
it's time to make our shrimp paste.
doraditas.
Shrimp paste, good. Pestle and mortar, fuyo.
I feel like it's very underutilized in the kitchen. It
Correct.
so much flavor and it's so fun to use. Or your
That very good pounding. See, nephew Nick, this is how you pound, not your weak ass stirring motion.
I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic. All right. Getting a workout today. I feel like instead of just using garlic in the fried rice, maybe making a garnish with it. So I'm gonna be making garlic chips. I'm just gonna
Garlic chip a bit extra, but I guess it's okay.
slice it thin on the mandolin. If you go too slow, then you're gonna cut yourself. If you go too fast, you're gonna cut yourself.
Yeah, too slow cannot, too fast also cannot. That's the same complaint as Auntie Helen.
It's ready. So at this point, we're gonna take it out.
Nice, look good.
As it sits.
Maybe salt it a bit also.
Chips. How can I not? Perfect.
Okay, so time for the rice, the most important part.
Hence, it's fried rice.
Chef Esther was kind enough to prepare the rice for me.
So I gifted Gabby cooked kushe curry rice that's a day old.
You cannot just give her rice. 3 ingredients, egg, fry, and rice. You give her rice, you give her a third of the egg fry rice. Might as well give her the whole egg fry rice. Why bother asking her to cook?
Gabby sent me probably your most common rice that you'll find in your local supermarket. In this case, we're gonna do 2 cups.
Jasmine rice, okay.
Wash my rice multiple times, but I think I'm just gonna give this one a rinse because it's not too starchy. 2 cups of.
You have restaurant but cannot afford rice cooker. Why?
And now this is my trick when I do it at the restaurants. Spread it out on a sheet tray and let it kind of dry out like that.
Very smart. Because niece Esther don't have day-old rice, she have to make rice now, so she dry it off on baking sheet to simulate the dryness of day-old rice. Good tip, good tip.
Clearly, Gabby didn't send me much vegetables to work with.
Good, that's good. Because vegetables taste like sad. Don't eat them. If you want to be healthy, just go exercise. Fuck vegetables.
Okay, we're gonna still... Scallions I'm actually gonna use in 2 different ways. With the whites, I'm actually gonna use to kind of flavor the oil when I cook the fried
smart
paste. And the greens I'm gonna use as a topping. A little milder.
Ooh, that slanted slicing. That very fancy.
So I'm slicing these on a long bias because at the restaurant we like to call this sexy scallion.
Ooh, sexy scallion. That's gonna be Uncle Roger drag queen name. Because I slim, slender, and go well on top of anything.
Water, because it can get a little slimy, and it also like perks it up. Now for the jalapeno.
What jalapeno for egg fried rice? That Mexican, you're making egg fried rice, not egg fried burrito. Just use normal chili. What with jalapeno?
I saw this on TikTok actually, but it's something called golden fried rice. And what it is, it's separating the egg yolks from the white and using the yolk almost like a fat emulsifier and coating the rice with the egg yolk. Using a butter.
Interesting technique. Uncle Roger never used that before, but it looked cool because I think the fried rice gonna have very nice yellow color and the egg yolk evenly spread throughout rice. Uncle Roger didn't know you could get good cooking technique from TikTok because to me, TikTok is just underage girl dancing. It's like pedo Tinder.
So this is why I'm using the yolk for this. Alright, our rice is ready to go.
We got ourselves a wok.
So Gabby's gonna be making her fried rice in a wok.
Wok? Good.
Here's a tip for someone who wants to use a wok at home. You can actually turn the burner grate upside down to create a cradle for your wok to rest in.
Fuyo, that very good tip again. This niece Esther has so many handy tricks. I think if you throw niece Esther on deserted island, within a week you come back, she already have built a boat, start a restaurant, and start family also.
So now my flame can basically touch my wok.
I have not been gifted with a wok, so I'm going to be using the second best thing. It's a cast iron skillet. I love the cast
Okay, that okay also.
There's a lot of heat and also...
Because cast iron skillet is white people version of wok. You need to season it. You can pass it down to generation. And people so impressed if you have one.
First thing, fried eggs. While that cooks, let's get our cast iron hot. Let's add some of our beautiful shrimp oil. Add my scallion whites. So it's like beautiful scallion oil in the shrimp oil.
What?
You know what? You have to like, you know, you gotta own it. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm just showing these boss, you know. Let's see if I can get a little flippy.
No, don't. If you do wok, toss it close to fire. That's the whole point. You want the fire to touch the tossing. Don't just toss in the middle of kitchen. What you doing? What you doing?
See how all the granules are separated? There's no clumps.
Nice.
We're in fried rice.
Correct again.
Cooking the egg whites so it's almost all there, and then we'll incorporate it into the rice.
My egg, I guess, just kind of gets thrown in there. I'm just gonna kind of rip
Wait, what?
thread.
What? Why are you putting egg in like that? Who want to eat big slice of egg like this? Just one big strip, one little bit of egg in the fried rice, not a whole bed sheet.
We're gonna add our shrimp and our aromatics back in there. Get that. Remember this beautiful paste? This is basically our MSG.
What? What she say? What she say?
This is basically our MSG.
MSG? This is the most beautiful woman on the earth. She said the word MSG. I'm slowly falling in love with this woman. She's so good at cooking and she likes MSG. No more Nigella. I think Niece Esther, my favorite chef now. Time to replace all the photo in my bedroom. It's been a good run, Nigella. My Uncle Roger found new favorite female chef.
Seasoning, white pepper, fish sauce, shoyu.
And with the seasoning, most importantly, hodashi, which is a type of MSG.
She say MSG for second time in this video. This is matchmake in heaven. I want to meet this woman. Where is she living? She in New York City. Okay, Uncle Roger and Nephew Nigel doing stand-up in New York in April. Uncle Roger gonna go find her.
And with the seasoning, most importantly, hodashi.
She know how to say MSG without using the word MSG. That is how you trick white people into eating MSG.
What?
This is woman of
¿Qué está pasando?
Okay, let's see both fried rice.
Oh my god, beautiful!
That expensive fried rice. Okay, it look expensive, but it don't look good. I can't even see any rice in there. It's just prawn head and fish egg. And what is this? They use the crab shell as plate. So sad. It's too bougie. Uncle Roger prefer Esther $13 fried rice because the technique's so good. She's so creative. Squeeze out every single ounce of flavor. And she know about MSG. Uncle Roger has to call her Auntie Esther from now on. I think I'm in love all over again. I feel like teenager now. I simping for Niece Esther, making Uncle Roger third leg standing up. But most importantly, Auntie Esther.
Oh, ¿qué es esto?
At pounding.
Sorry, Julian.
What are Jamie's kids' names?
Let me find out.
Mad
Oh,
Mage?
weird.
Poppy Honey.
Yeah, Poppy Honey. Do you want to keep saying Poppy Honey?
Blossom?
Right, okay.
Petal, Blossom, Rainbow, Oliver.
That's one child.
That's one child.
Oh my god, you're killing me, woman. That is my biggest disappointment for the week. Jamie Oliver's children's names. Petal, Blossom, Honey, Kombucha, Oliver?
Ya casi está a la mitad. No, 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 no. Oh, no tengo pociones. Au, 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 au. No. No. Al otro lado. Estuvo raro y difícil. ¿Cuánto tiempo dura la cuerda? No me acuerdo. 200 segundos. Ya, ¿no? La puertita. Bueno, eso va a ser todo por hoy. Sí, 184. Tarde, bueno. A ver qué cosa se supone que puedo hacer ahora. El bosque fantasma. Hyperion Twilight. Golux. Golux no era el otro Golux. El nivel 100. ¿Qué nivel era? Golux. Debería ser lo de los Crusaders. Yo creo que sería mucho pérdida de tiempo. Nelsi, Millón, Nelsi, Sector Omega, no. Hyperion Twilight. Ah, ya me acuerdo. Este lugar está muy raro. No entiendo cómo te regresas a él una vez que entras. Es diferente. Esto es demasiado familiar. ¿Dónde he visto esta escena? Con una chica montada en una especie de caballo con cuerno. ¿Eh? Uy. Bla, 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 bla. Es increíblemente algo interesante. Randolph. Nada que ver con Gandalf o algo así. Ah, ¿por qué me regresó a Genesis? Ah, pues es el Gollum de aquí. Pero yo creí que Golux estaba acá. No, ese es Colossus. Goluxus. Ah, por aquí entras a... ¿Eso no estaba? Aquí hay un par de cosas útiles. Ah, ok. También son buenos. Debería ser eso para si quiero conseguir cosas chidas. Ah, no, eso no quiero hacer eso. Hey, casting. Invasión dimensional. Antes alienígenas. Se me es muy familiar. Debería ser Golux primero y luego este. Unos aretes hinchidos. Collar. Anillo y un cinturón. No tengo cinturón. Mentira, si tengo cinturón. No muy chapa. Mystic. No sé dónde lo conseguí. Muchos años. Bueno, que iba a terminar con el video. Yo no tengo tampoco la badge. No me acuerdo en cuál. Hay una que te la regalan, pero no Badgy. Esto se ve más interesante. Que va directo al grano. No, bueno, entonces. No caduca la llave. Se va a debilitar después de un día. Tengo que vender esos. Seguro, ¿por qué no? Qué divertida. Yo solito y así nomás. Galux Penny. Premium Hairbag. Recetas. Para mejorar los accesorios de Golux. Con lo verde. Y puedes conseguir monedas. Con las monedas puedes conseguir los accesorios. 700 son los buenos. En la silla. No creo que pueda ganar. Siquiera debería intentarlo, pero aquí vamos. ¡Hala! Oh, sí, se me olvidó esta cosa. El pie. Oh. En el brazo.
Wipe them out. First light.
Moneditas. Hasta ahora parece que está fácil. Las moneditas. No sé cómo consigues las verdes, pero bueno. Oh no. Eso fue muy rápido. Oh. Ahora que ya lo debilité, ¿no? ¿Me falta algo? Aquí. Falta un equipo de gente que...
light. Sword of light. Sword of light. Wipe them out.
Todo, ¿cierto? Y ahorita me va a matar de un golpe. Ah,
Heaven's door. Wipe them out.
ah. Tiene mecánicas complicadas.
Sword of light. Over here. Sword of light. Sword of light. Sword of light. Divine light. Sword of light. Divine light.
Oh. ¿Y cómo me mató? Ah. Ya. Se acabó. Ah, me falta otra cosa. Ya tienen salvaje. Ah, no sé si agarrarlo. Mono. Ah. ¿Y por qué no? Aquí. Y aquí. Dan monedas. Tururú, tururú, tururú. Ah, es al revés. Con los pennies consigues las azules. ¿Qué? quién sabe. Me hace que cambiaron de moneda o algo así. Pero no estoy metido. Bien, solo necesito 700. Supongo que la idea sería conseguir estas. Nivel 100. Y luego... Y luego conseguir las de 700. No sé, sí, tal vez, quién sabe. Bueno. Eso es todo por hoy. Hasta luego. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye.